Hey buddy, it's Crazy4 and welcome back to some more Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. In the last one, we of course went through Classic mode and ran through as Sheik. Of course, Zelda's alter ego. Had a lot of fun, surprisingly a lot of fun playing as Sheik for sure. Today's episode though is going to consist of another Zelda character going to Classic mode as Ganondorf, the King of Evil from the Zelda series. So of course Ganondorf, he's got some palette swaps to take a look at him for just real quick. So first things first, we got the standard Twilight Princess look of Ganondorf with the hole in his chest. Then we've got a white-haired Ganondorf, kind of titled Old Manondorf by the community. We've got sort of a kind of like a bluer version of his standard outfits. We've got a green outfit, we've got a red outfit, a brown outfit, a kind of like a more muted colored Ganondorf, like a gray Ganondorf with red hair, as well as a blue Ganondorf, which is kind of funny with like, I guess, a standard brown hair. But anyways, Ganondorf is, surprisingly enough, not an unlockable character in Wii U. He was back in 3DS, but he is not unlockable in the Wii U version, so just getting that out there for anyone who is curious about that. Alright, so let's get it going. 7.0 as the boy Ganondorf. I'm honestly quite excited, maybe because like Ganondorf is a character I've always really enjoyed playing as. I don't know why, but he's just such a fun character to me. I really do like playing as him a lot. So yeah, we'll see how it goes today's episodes. But Ganondorf, you know, he's one of those characters. He's a heavyweight character. He's a strong character, but he's a slow character. So, you know, some things can definitely play into his strengths, some things can play into his weaknesses. For his general strengths, he's just got a lot of raw power and KO ability. Nearly all attacks of his can KO under 150%, with some of them being able to KO under 100%. Moves like the aerial Warlock Punch, his neutral B, and sweet spotted up tilt can KO at absurdly low percentages, so that's something to look out for. They're good moves, very strong. They're kind of like high risk, high reward sort of attacks in my opinion. Again, still like worth trying to get off if you can, but it will be difficult. Let me get Ganon. There we go. Got Bowser Jr. out of here. I wanted to get him out because like he's got rewards. Definitely want those rewards. And also he's got a good high damage output from just a few hits, and he thrives off of being able to punish hard, right? If he can get into a character's space and really punish that character, he will, like, that's like his main forte. He needs to get into those hard punish situations to be able to like really do a lot of work, right? And he's got also excellent rage usage. Heavyweight status, of course, of his, and strong KO tools can make, of course, rage very effective. You know what? Let's get the 1v1 against Zelda. It's only fitting. He's also capable of shield breaking and punishing over shielding with several powerful moves like his up tilt or his forward smash. Really good moves to really good moves to damage an opponent's shield. Very good moves. Again, the up tilt, it's a slow move, very slow. It's not often that you're going to be able to really hit with it, but if you can, it's gonna be really damaging and really devastating to your opponents. Very good move to hit off, just like for just straight damage. For edge guarding though, an offstage threat, he's got powerful aerials, especially his down air, which has the strongest meteor smash in the game. His up air, which is a great gimping tool with a semi spike and high hit stun, and his back air, which is fast, powerful, and also auto cancels into a short hop. As for his punish game though, teammates. You know what? We just beat Zelda. Let's bring her in as my teammate. He's got strong punish options, especially from mispositioned opponents with his up tilt or his up smash. And his flame choke, his side B, can lead to reads and hard punishes. As obviously a heavyweight character, he does have high endurance. He is the 5th heaviest character in the game with a high gravity and survivability, so he will live quite a lot. He isn't like Bowser heavy, right? I think Bowser, if I'm not mistaken, is like in his own kind of tier when it comes to heavyweights. But like Ganondorf, again, 5th heaviest character in the game, that's definitely still like useful. And I think it definitely gives Ganondorf that ability to just like live for a while, which he kind of needs. Obviously, he's a slow character, so he kind of needs to be able to live hits as much as he possibly can. And he's also great at trading hits, of course, due to his durability. So, yeah. He will, against like lighter characters like, let's say, Pikachu or Zero Suit, he will, of course, you know, be able to take those hits, but also be able to like easily clap back at those opponents, at those same opponents, to be able to like damage heavily. That killed me? I'm very surprised about that. Down B. Oh, I was really hoping he would die there. I was like, there's no way he lives that, but apparently he does. And then for his custom moves, outside of standard play, right? The Wizard Dropkick, and one of his customs for his down B, and Dark Fist, which I'm pretty sure is for his up B, significantly improved recovery and added shield options. And for Warlock Blade, which is a custom for his neutral B, and Flame Wave, which is for his side B, offer good utility improvements. But of course, you know, as a character like this, he is bound to have a lot of weaknesses, a lot of very heavy weaknesses that do kind of make him not that good of a character, especially in standard play, right? One of the biggest things about him is that he has extremely poor mobility. He is one of the slowest characters in the game, both on the ground and in the air. He has the worst overall jump height in the game, and also terrible aerial acceleration and dashing speed. So he doesn't have a lot really going for him, if I'm being honest. I got hit there, excuse me. Can I bring someone with me? I was really hoping. I'm scared. What? Oh my gosh, Arceus. Are you kidding me? Lucario, you need to leave. I do not want to be in this. Okay. Arceus killed like everyone on the screen at once. That was a crazy, crazy thing. I've never seen that happen before. Arceus, I mean, he's like good if you position yourself good, but anyways. Also Ganondorf, horrible frame data as you could probably expect. Most of his attacks are slow with very few moves actually starting before frame 9. His forward air and up tilt are notoriously laggy, and of course he has among the worst frame data in the game. So, yeah, you know, he's gonna be slow. That's kind of just his main thing. He is very slow. Faster characters will be able to get in quicker, do damage quicker, and get out, or even just like hit him out of attacks quicker, right? And he won't be able to really do much if he just if he keeps getting hit over and over again by those faster characters. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of characters that are way faster than Ganondorf in Smash, just in general, right? He's just not a fast character at all. He also has a lackluster recovery. His recovery options, like his Flame Choke or his Dark Dive, his side B and his up B, respectively, are short range and also highly vulnerable. They are easy to gimp or edge guarded due to slow aerial speed and any lag. He also is very vulnerable to pressure and combos as he has a tall hitbox, he's a heavyweight, and he has bad air mobility, which make him an easy combo target, right? And also poor added shield options, which leave him open to rushdowns. On top of that, poor approaching and zoning is something that Ganondorf also deals with. He's got no projectile to utilize, and also poor range, which make him very easy to zone out, and he struggles to close distance against fast or projectile heavy characters. He's also got, of course, that short range and inconsistent hitboxes. Many of his moves are easy to whiff or trade negatively, and shield can be poked easily due to having the large hitbox and having a small shield size. So 2 and 2 don't really play super well with each other. On top of that, he's got a pretty weak grab and throw game, as he's got a short grab range. His throws lack strong follow-ups or even KO potential, and Flame Choke setups are pretty unreliable and risky if they are, of course, teched by our opponents. If they aren't teched, then they can work pretty well, but like, you know, if you're playing against an opponent that like really knows what they're doing, especially against a Ganondorf, you're gonna struggle against like finding some really good follow-ups off of Flame Choke, right? So, yeah. He also has inconsistent kill potential in some of his moves. Certain attacks like his neutral aerials, late hits, or dark dive have poor damage and KO potential even at very high percentage. On top of that, just all in all, very low competitive standing as you could probably expect. Despite having buffs and high tournament representation among low tiers, Ganondorf remains a bottom tier character. Most of his results come from minor tournaments. So as an overall summary of Ganondorf, you should kind of like know what to expect when you want to get into him. He's a very high risk, high reward powerhouse, right? That's kind of his main forte. That's what you really want to like think about and aim for when you play someone like Ganondorf, right? He's devastating when he lands a hit, but he struggles with speed, frame data, and recovery. His success depends heavily on hard reads and punishes rather than safe or reliable options. And he also was significantly better in Brawl, surprisingly enough, but is still considered a low tier character due to major weaknesses in mobility, speed, and consistency. Now, briefly talking about Brawl and his change from Brawl to Smash 4. He's changed a bit. I mean, overall, he's kind of remained the same with some improvements and some buffs, but also some nerfs, which also did kind of like make him, I guess, arguably a little bit worse here in Smash 4. Although, I don't know, I feel like he was better in Smash 4 than in Brawl. But maybe these notes will tell me otherwise. So, as for the general buffs from Smash 4, from Brawl to Smash 4 that he gained, he has increased KO power, his smashes, his aerials and neutral, of course, forward and back, and his Wizard's Foot all hit harder. The Rage mechanic further than amplifies his kill power due to high weight. He also has improved frame data. He has faster startup on his neutral attack, dash attack, and neutral aerial. His aerials have less landing lag, making them safer. Dark Dive is also stronger and less punishable when it connects. And then the Flame Choke, which then can lead into the Ganon side, as the Flame Choke is side B if you do it in the air, can actually be used to KO Ganondorf himself while also taking down his opponents, hence the name Ganon side, right? It now consistently KOs the opponent first on last stock situations, creating a potential win condition. So it's a lot more of a reliable kill option than it was back in Brawl. I remember how it was back in Brawl. It wasn't super good as a KO option, but now in Smash 4, amazing. I should have probably shown it off against the Dark, the Shadow. His grab game is slightly better, as he has got slightly more range. His down throw now has combo potential due to changes in DI/hit stun. He benefited from certain universal changes like the removal of chain grabs, which was a huge issue for him in Brawl. Increased shield stun and shield damage makes his hits safer and more threatening. There's also removal of edge hogging, which marginally helps his recovery, and rage boosts KO potential even further. And of course, finally, his quality of life tweaks. Risky moves like the Warlock Punch and Up Tilt are now stronger and slightly more usable, and some buffs via patches to moves like the Jab, Neutral Aerial, and Dark Dive. So yeah, and he's got quite a bit of nerfs too compared to Brawl, but we'll get into that in just a moment as as we have to do all this. But yeah, Classic Mode is Ganondorf, very fun. Let's check out the trophy. Alright, let's get these credits going with Ganondorf. Let's see if I can concentrate on these credits while also reading off my notes about Ganondorf real quick. But yeah, going into his weaknesses, or I guess like when it comes to his nerfs, right, from going from Brawl to Smash 4, his mobility is still awful, obviously, or even worse, relatively. Dashing speed did increase slightly, but most other characters improved more. And his walking and airspeed decreased or have been unchanged, making him easier to rush down or evade. His recovery got worse overall. The loss of grab armor and decreased airspeed make recovery extremely exploitable, and other characters' recoveries improved more, worsening Ganondorf's relative position. The Flame Choke was also nerfed. It is now techable, which removed guaranteed follow-ups and forcing risky reads, and it has also significantly reduced reliability and potency in neutral. His down air was also nerfed. It no longer auto cancels into the short hop. It is also weaker overall, with frame canceling tech being impractical. And the defensive game is also surprisingly enough weaker. His rolls and spot dodge are significantly worse. They're slower and more punishable. He lost access to landing Wizard's Foot as an out of shield option, and still has poor out of shield tools despite slight buffs to jab and dark dive. He still lacks approaching and combo options. No projectile, and slow movement and poor range, of course, and terrible, just equal to terrible approach game. Combo potential remains poor despite DI/hit stun changes. He also easily combo due to his heavy weight, large size, and bad air mobility. He is also very inconsistent advantage with Rage. While Rage does boost his KO power, Ganondorf does struggle to make use of it reliably. He also has poor setups and recovery, which make it easier for others to KO him first, and he doesn't benefit much from universal changes. Hit stun and DI changes help significantly, but not enough. He's still outclassed by most of the cast in neutral and advantage stage. So, yeah, that's a lot of Ganondorf, but that's how he works. But real quick, check out his taunts. So we got his up taunts, a classic way, his side taunts, and then his down taunts. Very good selection of taunts. I love his set a lot. Alright, not bad. It was kind of cool because in one of those clips they actually showed off one of his custom moves with the Warlock Blade, which was really cool to see. But yeah, just to kind of wrap things up, his overall competitive standing, right, for Ganondorf, he is better than he was in Brawl, thanks to more, or his competitive standing is better than back in Brawl, thanks to more power and some frame data improvements, but he is still very low tier, of course, due to having terrible speed and mobility, one of the worst recoveries, poor defense and approach options, weak tournament results, and he's no longer considered the universally considered the worst, but it remains among the bottom characters. So yeah, back in Brawl, I'm pretty sure he was literally bottom of the barrel. He was the worst character in the game. I think right now in Smash 4, he's like maybe second or third worst. So it's like not much of an improvement, but like kind of, it's weird. But yeah, anyways, Ganondorf. So he's got some stuff. He's got a really fun Final Smash. Obviously, not really changing really at all since Brawl. This is Beast Ganon. Pretty solid, like just cinematic Final Smash there. Turned into his beast mode from specifically from Twilight Princess, from Legends of the Twilight Princess, but like it's kind of like his true form, I'm pretty sure, in a way. And he basically roars down his opponent, which then leaves them stunned for some time, and then rushes them down into a frenzy, and can work obviously on any opponents. I'm pretty sure also in the air he will. On top, he will be able to stun his opponents too, but there is kind of like also a certain trajectory, right, that he will be able to hit his opponents at. I think he can also sometimes spike, right, if you, let me just double check, right. Yeah, so if you utilize Beast Ganon right next to your opponent, it can also ground them, and maybe in the air be able to spike them. So that's also a very useful tool to use if you so please. But yeah, this is Final Smash. Really cool Final Smash. Very sick. But his special moves real quick. So we have the standard B, the standard neutral special. The Warlock Punch, a chargeable punch, which charges up by itself. It does take a long time to, you know, wind up and release, but does a lot of damage and knockback if you can pull it off. He also has other options to it, like being able to reverse it on the ground, which does increase damage and knockback. He can do it in the air, and then also reverse it in the air. If I'm not mistaken, if he reverses it and does it in the air, it will do the most amount of damage and knockback possible. So that's the idea of what you want to go for when you go for a Warlock Punch. Use it in the air and reverse it. You will get the most out of it. Then we have the side B, which is the Flame Choke, a move where he just dashes up to his opponents and chokes them while slamming them into the ground. Using it on the in the air will cause him and his opponents to you know, shoot down to the ground, which then makes it really good to kind of follow up and also, you know, get inside with, right? To use that technique to be able to kill your opponent really quickly and also get a stock off them before you die. Very, very useful tool. Can be teched, but can be good to like follow up into like a down tilt or down or something, right? Now we got the up B, which is the dark dive, which of course if he grabs onto an opponent, he will electrocute them a little bit and blast them off in an explosion. After using it on an opponent, he can use it again and again until he can't grab onto an opponent, but if he does use it without grabbing onto an opponent, he does enter a free fall state. And the tip of the up B can also damage, do a little bit of dark energy and do a little bit of damage knockback. Not too crazy, but just like a little bit. Let me see if I can show it off. It's tough. It's really tough to show off, but it is there. Yeah, but anyways, finally the down B, which is the Wizard's Foot, right? A move where he just sends himself forward with dark energy and just propels himself forward. A little kick to send off his opponents. Can be pretty decent for killing as well. In the air, though, it has a bit of a different utility. He goes at a more diagonally downward direction. It does have better KO utility than the grounded version, and will also have a little bit of a shockwave around him when he does land, which can be pretty decent for just like getting nearby opponents away, while still being a little bit safe of a landing option for him. But yeah, that's his special moves. Pretty cool arsenal of moves. Again, nothing really different between Brawl and Smash 4 when it comes to his moveset. He's basically the exact same. He works the exact same as he used to. Since Melee, he did change a little bit. Melee with his well, his Warlock Punch now being able to obviously be reversed, and also the fact that he can his Flame Choke, his side B is a lot different than it was back in Melee. But look at that, it's kind of funny how we got Ganondorf next to Wind Waker Ganondorf. But anyways, Ganondorf! Ganondorf, the King of Darkness and owner of the Triforce of Power, is bent on plunging the Kingdom of Hyrule into ruin. Thankfully, he's usually stopped by Link before this happens. In Smash Bros, he makes up for his low speed with devastating power. The strength of his blows can knock back most opponents. Rush in when the enemies open and strike hard. And again, we got our Legend of Zelda or Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64, and the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii. Interesting that those are the two games that they picked, but like those are kind of like the main times where we really see Ganondorf himself. You know, we got the first true appearance of Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time, I'm pretty sure, because the previous games were just Ganon, right, his beast form. And then Twilight Princess, of course, is what this version of Ganondorf, his design is based off of, which is really cool. Back in Brawl, he didn't have that hole in the chest, but obviously, if you know what happens to him in Twilight Princess, you know why he has that here, so just kind of want to update it. But anyways, that is all for today's episode of Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U. Thanks for watching. In the next one, we're going to be heading through Classic Mode as the last Zelda character, that of course being Toon Link. Another Link, but a bit of a different, I guess, sort of playstyle from standard Link. But anyways, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Social media, including the Twitch, and all the other channels are of course down in the description. Go check them out, they're great stuff. I'll see everyone in the next one. Pop-Tarts, out.